It's a beautiful day in Deepwoken history where you can make any build that comes to mind. No longer are we forced to stick with boring meta gameplay, so expand your creativity and bring your favorite characters into Deepwoken. I've been recreating iconic characters from both anime and video games for about like a year or so if you want to know what's up, please follow me. Before we start, watch out for Bleach spoilers up until the most recent chapter, the 1000-Year Blood War arc, because I'll be focusing on the characters and events that happened before this arc, so you have been warned. What does it mean to be number 1? The strongest fighter, maybe somebody that just survives, but no matter what, you'll always be alone. Coyote Starrk, the strongest Espada, is no stranger to isolation. In fact, being alone shaped his entire outlook on life. Ever since his creation, Coyote Starrk has always been insanely strong. Nobody even approached him because of this, and if they did, it would often just kill them. In the dark and desolate desert of Hueco Mundo, a monster was born. Coyote Starrk, the lazy and lovable CERO gunslinger that we all came to know, is a master in both long-range and close-range combat. His dynamic fighting style made Starrk one of the most iconic Bleach characters of all time. One second it's a sword fight, the next he's got guns, he's sniping you from afar, and boom, now he's up in your face. Starrk has mastered the art of soul manipulation, allowing himself to split apart into multiple weapons and make use of them effectively. From gunslinging to wolf wrangling, Starrk's abilities are about as crazy as they can get. Do you want to know what's even crazier? I, the real Punchy, have been stranded in Hueco Mundo. There's nothing for me to do out here except make videos, so it would be greatly appreciated if you show your support and subscribe to the channel. I love Deepwoken, and I love making content that you will enjoy, so please like and subscribe. That being said, hopefully I escape Hueco Mundo sometime soon. Anyway, in Deepwoken, I brought life to Coyote Starrk with the perfect race Canor. I mean, coyotes are canine, so it makes a lot of sense. His outfit is a mix of black, white, blue, and gray, which resembled that of his iconic Hollow Awakening. I tried my best to recreate his fur and wolf-like coat, but it just wouldn't dye correctly. Luckily, I think I did well with his special eye patch and color scheme, and the hair and eye color is pretty spot on. You'll also notice that I chose Jet Striker as my oath of choice to symbolize his ridiculous spiritual pressure. The entire reason why Starrk was alone was that nobody could handle his strength, and it kind of looks like spiritual pressure. Also, now that I'm looking, my drip kind of looks like homeless hobo Eren Yeager, but you know, you can play that too. Starrk has a ton of different abilities and weapons, and here's what I picked. During his Hollow Resurrection, my man transforms and trades out his trusty Zanpakuto for 2 CERO hand cannons, and trust me, Starrk ain't lacking. These guns are actually a part of Starrk and are the physical weapon form of his partner Lilinette. Starrk and Lilinette share a soul, but they had to split apart to limit their own strength. Anyway, these guns fire high damage CERO that comes in all shapes and sizes. In Deepwoken, I picked up Stormbreaker Dragoons for this reason, but you might be asking, Punchy, why would you trade out the gun critical for Stormbreaker? Okay, let me cook. Starrk, in many instances, will rush his target with Sonido and shoot a close-range CERO. We can do this with Stormbreaker and Encircle, and trust me, it's pretty crazy. Simply throw your weapon before or after the mantra for close-range pressure, and if I'm being real, Stormbreaker Dragoons, it's old, but it's still bark. My stats are all over the place, but everything I did was for a reason. For Coyote Starrk, I decided to make a hybrid build with both Frost Straw and Shadowcast. Let's see what the Espada Primera has in store. During the encounter between Shinsui and Starrk, one of the greatest abilities of all anime history was released, that being CERO METRALETTA. Excuse my pronunciation, but this onslaught of constant laser fire made a lasting impact on the Bleach community, and I think the anime community as a whole. It's the most iconic move Starrk has in his arsenal, and that's what people think of today. CERO METRALETTA was recreated with, of course, a giant shadow gun. Besides dealing insane damage, it's very easy to land this move when baiting with Stormbreaker. I throw my guns and punish whoever tries attacking, and it's basically free. I know it's sneaky and underhanded, but that's what Starrk's all about. Light speed attacks. Both Starrk and Shinsui fly at each other faster than the speed of light. Starrk's mastery of these Sonido techniques transcend that of any other Espada as he surrounds his target with a high-speed afterimage that creates clones of himself. It's that fast. This week, it seems like the Deepwoken devs wanted me to make this Starrk build because Shadowcast Encircle is just perfect. Stacking on these shadow clones with my Stormbreaker enchant is extremely effective, and you can basically move stack this monster with anything. Starrk is known for insane CEROs and always mixes up his opponent with underhanded tactics. After a conversation with Shinsui, Starrk released a CERO blast from his hollow hole, which nobody was expecting. In-game Dread Breath releases a giant beam from our mouth, which is exactly what Starrk did. This ability is best used to push away players and build up speed using a wind gem. Remember what I said about Starrk and his soul manipulation? Well, Starrk had to split his soul in 2, creating Lilinette. Later on, she becomes his CERO firing guns, and even after that, she transforms into Los Lobos or his explosive soul wolves. These deadly soul animals seek out and delete anything they touch, but when they die, Starrk loses a part of his soul. Los Lobos in Deepwoken was, of course, Shadow Seekers. Sometimes we can release a bunch of heat-seeking projectiles to lay on the pressure and deal insane damage to our opponent. Another example of soul manipulation and CERO beams is shown off with Soul Jar. After we kill people, we take their souls and release a giant laser attack right from our chest, and whenever I use this, I feel just like Starrk. Now, we've been talking about CEROs and soul nonsense for a while, but Starrk is pretty effective with just his sword and speed. With a well-timed Sonido strike, Starrk has the speed to catch up to his opponents and leave a lasting impact. He makes use of the Sonido technique in tandem with his other abilities. Sonido strike would have to be Shadow Assault, allowing us to close gaps and combo extend effectively. People don't expect us to get close, and that's exactly what we do. During his fights with Shunsui, Starrk reveals that each gun does different things. His right gun is slower and more powerful, but his left gun is faster and shoots a weaker beam. Using his left gun, he applies pressure and stacks on damage to wear down his opponent. Our left gun is going to be Ice Beam to push people away and annoy them from a distance. We don't really do that much damage, but it's good at confusing the enemy, and we have so many beams in this build, anything else can represent our right gun. So check out my full talent list. We're finally done with Coyote Starrk, now check out some fights with my Espada Primera.
CERO METRALETTA.
Thanks so much for watching, and if you like these Bleach builds, trust me, I'm making more because I know you guys love it. I'm so appreciative of the recent support, and if you want, please make sure to like and subscribe. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers, and I think we can hit it soon. I love making character builds, so comment down below what you want to see next. Thanks again, and have a good one.